Well, hello. Welcome everybody to this taster of Talk to the Entities. I am Julie Tootin. I'm a certified facilitator and an intermediate facilitator of Talk to the Entities, which is a specialty education in the spirit arts. Why would we even want to delve into this area? A lot of people are very reluctant and afraid to even talk about spirits. However, I have found that it's been incredibly helpful to have these tools available, and it's been incredibly helpful to empower me to trust my awareness. How else can you build your muscle of awareness with energy than with the spirit world? It's just a perfect playground. So I will share a little story from the other day. I was helping out at an art exhibit, and a couple of the ladies who were also volunteering kept sneezing and coughing. And they're like, I'm not sick. Don't worry. I'm not going to get you sick. But I don't know what's happened the last 3 days. I can't stop coughing and sneezing. And they were looking at each other like, I don't know. And I said, could it be a spirit coming to talk to you? And they were like, wait, what? Oh my gosh, it could be. And oftentimes we get these coughing, sneezing, hair raising on your arm or the back of your neck, chills, headaches, all kinds of body sensations when we have an awareness of spirits. And it's not to make you scared, it's to let you know that they're there. And maybe they want to be cleared, maybe they want to communicate something. Oftentimes, they want to help you and contribute to you. So it's not this big, mean, scary, going to hurt you type of thing. Um, oh gosh, that makes me remember something that Shannon O'Hara, the creator of Talk to the Entities, was saying. Most people have learned about entities from movies and from their parents. And a lot of it is misinformation. And she compared it to, how much did you learn about sex from movies and from your parents? That wasn't true. So if you know that there's more possible in sex, then there's also more possible in the area of the spirit world. And what if it's not scary? What if it's exciting? So, Talk to the Entities is a curriculum designed to give you the tools so that you're empowered to be able to handle any situation. But it also really strengthens your awareness and your trust in yourself. So, how do you know if it's an entity? Well, you have to ask a question. You can't just assume. So, you ask, is this an entity? And if it feels light, or if you get a yes, then it's true. You have to build your own muscle. Nobody else can really validate you. You have to know for you. This is extremely helpful. You don't need anybody else to tell you what's true. You can know. Think about it. How often do you think there's a spirit there? You don't until there is. And then you're like, oh, is this an entity? And it is because you're aware. When you ask the question, you will know. And then you can start using your questions and building your awareness in all areas of your life, not just about spirits. But this is a great place to build that muscle. Um, what questions do you guys have? Anybody have a question? Everybody's so quiet. Well, let's see. What else can I share? When you are aware of a spirit being around, it's important to also not make it significant and not make them greater than you. Just because they don't have a body doesn't mean that they're stronger or more capable. And you have to kind of dig into your bossy parental voice and be like, stay away or stand back. And you can like boss them around and tell them, come back later or don't come in my house. And they will listen to that. And unless they're trying to contribute to you or get your attention. And then they might be persistent, and then your entity awareness signs could get stronger. I know for me, a lot of times I get neck pain and shoulder pain, and sometimes this like pushing down on my head. And sometimes it takes a while to recognize, oh, I didn't sleep wrong. Like, wait a minute, what is this? Is this an entity? And then from there, you can ask more questions. What do you like? What do you want? What are you here for? Would you like to be cleared? Would you like to be communicated with? Do you require something from me, or are you looking to gift to me? And so you use questions to discover what feels light to you and what is true. Yes, there's a question. Yeah, it's as easy as asking the question and trusting yourself. A lot of people go into doubt. Oh, I must be crazy. Oh, I'm making this up. You're never making it up. Why would you make it up? You know how you can tell if somebody is happy or sad or angry and hiding it, but you can still tell? It's that same thing. That is your muscle of awareness. Now, most people listen to what people say, I'm fine. And they don't listen to their awareness of what they're getting about the person. So you get all confused. the more you start trusting in your awareness of what you know, even if the person is saying they're fine and you know they're not, you don't have to call them out on it. You don't have to poke the bear or tell them that they're lying, but you can know for you. And the more you acknowledge what is true for you, the more your awareness grows. This is how easy it is. It does take trust in you, though. How many of you don't want to trust you? You rather believe people's words that they're saying. Mm. Sort of doesn't work. Is there another question? So everybody has a different way of sensing entities. You have to discover how it is for you. And there, you just have to figure it out. In the classes, we do a bunch of exercises together, and I sort of get that there's this group energetic contribution that when you're in a class, everything that you're aware of seems much easier to get than when you're by yourself. So there is a benefit in coming to the class. It's kind of like going to a yoga class. Maybe you feel stronger and you can do more of the poses than doing it at home on your own, because there's this energetic contribution to a group of people all working on the same thing. Because you could read the manual on your own, you can read the different books on your own, but there's something different when we come together as a group, and some of the different questions that other people have that maybe you hadn't voiced before unlocks something for you. So there's this really cool contribution that occurs in a workshop. So everybody in the beginning workshop will get the manual so that you can refer back to it. You can have all the tools at your fingertips, but the experience of being with everybody in the class and the facilitation is just so dynamic. And that's why we record them, so that you can re-listen to it and perceive that energy again, to help you build your empowerment, your awareness, and have ease with it. Let's see, what else? What else would people like to know about? One thing that's kind of fun is when you facilitate spirits and free them. First of all, it feels super amazing and expansive in your own world. but then you can also get paid for it. So you can receive money or gifts as a result of your generosity. So it's just another way to expand your receiving. Was there another question? I felt there was a question coming up. No? Yes, she does. I could tell.
Hello. Yeah, I want to ask about receiving actually.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't have like question, but I like what yeah, when you mention now that so class or this awareness expand our receiving
Mhm.
and how um
Right.
so can you tell more about this receiving thing, that
Sure. Um, well, it's like anywhere where you're willing to be more open, you receive more. So if you decide, well, you know, I don't want to know about ghosts. I don't want to deal with that area at all. You have put up barriers. And it's not just barriers to that, but it is barriers to receiving from that whole area in life. So when you take those barriers down, be willing to receive, it expands your world and it expands your receiving. As well, there's there's magic in it. Sort of like if you've run bars, do you run bars? So running bars, one of the main reasons why we do it is to clear all these points of view and limitations, which opens up space and opens up receiving. So running bars increases your receiving. How? I have no idea. I just know that it works. I know that when I'm stressed out or upset about something, if I run bars, all of a sudden there's space and I can deal with it. I don't even really get upset anymore. But years ago, when I first started using the bars and access, um, and I was married, when we had upsets, we would run each other's bars. And then when I decided to get a divorce, we ran each other's bars when we were going through the whole process because it's kind of overwhelming to separate all the stuff and figure out who's going to have what time with the kids and how you're going to deal with holidays and, dividing the assets, etc. It gets overwhelming. And so we would run bars and then there was space and it was easy. Getting divorced was so easy. People were like, "How did you do that?" You seem like such good friends and we were. And that wasn't the problem. We just couldn't live with each other. So it opened up receiving of all different kinds of things. Receiving isn't just money, it's awareness, it's connections, it's, um, light beings, it's nature spirits. There's all kinds of things that you can receive. Gratitude you can receive. But how many people reject gratitude and kindness? How many people don't feel worthy and put up barriers to that? And so running bars can help shift that, but also facilitating spirits is it's just so mind-blowingly blissful. I don't know how to describe it. And then you get paid on top of it. It's like, oh my God. But you wouldn't know until you experience it. There was, I think I've talked about this before on another video, but I have a friend who I was doing a facelift session on, and she was talking about having shoulder pain for a few weeks, and she got a massage, she got chiropractic, she got acupuncture, nothing changed it. And I said, is it an entity? Because that just came out of my mouth. And when you have that little thought, is it an entity? It usually is. And it was. And it was one of her relatives who had recently passed away. And she was like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. And so we asked some questions, and it turned out that the being wanted to contribute to her. And I talked her through lowering her barriers and just receiving. Just receiving. And it was so beautiful. This blissful pouring of magical energy into her body, and I could perceive it too. It was so beautiful. And the neck pain immediately went away and never came back. And we would hold that away for what reason? Like it's sort of crazy. We would be afraid of that for what reason? It was so incredible. So, what is out there for each one of you? And what would it take to desire to build your own awareness so that you can have ease with the spirit world, with relationships, with your business, with everything? You don't know how, but it is so. So I invite you to explore. I have an intro and beginning class coming up next week, starting on a Tuesday, 1 week from today. It's on Zoom. Um, the the intro is the first 90 minutes, and then we continue. The beginning goes for 3 hours a day for 4 days. And it's incredible, and it will add to your life. And if it's about the money, you could ask, if I choose this, will it make me money? And what would it take for so much money to flow into my life that it's never about the money, it's about what would I like to choose? What would you like to choose? So thank you for joining. I really appreciate you being here, turning your cameras on, and I hope to meet you in a class so that I can play with you and expand everybody's worlds. Okay. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.